It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's the Brian and Kindra Show. I'm Brian Cook.
I am Kindra Cox. We're with Keller Williams Realty Elite here in Woodward.
And today,
We are pre-recording.
that's right.
We're out of sync because we're not in the radio studio.
Right.
I can't even say that.
Yeah.
Yep, totally out of sync, but we're gonna get it. Okay, so because I'm taking vacation, so we get to pre-record instead of go live.
That's right. And, you know,
I'm gonna go see
I
big
couldn't
rocks
figure
and
out how
hills
to do
and
the
hopefully
Brian
water.
and somebody else show. Nobody wanted to be on the show with
Yeah,
me.
I didn't try very hard to help you.
Didn't want to lose your spot.
No, I did though, however, and Gary Whitcomb has been on the show before,
Mhm.
and he sent me some really fun things, and I said, I can't wait to harass you about these later, because he sends me really good information. I kind of think I want to have a Kindra and Gary show sometime.
Yeah. He was good. He was on our show once. He was good.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so for real, so I'm going to go see big rocks in Colorado.
That would be awesome.
Yes. All right, so I don't know if you realize this, but last week before the 4th of July, I think that I put 4 properties on the market for you. I think that you listed 4 properties like over the 4th of July weekend.
Wow.
You have 2 out of 4 of those already under contract.
And negotiating on one.
And I forgot you are negotiating on one. I didn't even think about that.
Don't mess around.
No, I think it's so important. We do our market stats every week. We don't get to do our market stats today because it's not the right day, and so it would be wrong. You're going to do them tomorrow maybe and get them posted. Because we're recording on Wednesday as opposed to our normal Thursday. But I think like we see all those numbers, but I'm not sure that they really make sense in my brain to how quickly things are moving, and things are really moving pretty well right now. So Gary Whitcomb that I just referenced, he took a listing this week, and you already put an offer in on yesterday. We didn't get it negotiated, unfortunately. The buyer and seller were a little bit too far apart, but things are moving, and so it's an exciting time right now.
Yep.
I think. Do you think?
I do. Let's see some action.
Yes. Okay. So 4th of July we just finished. You played firework.
Yep. My daughter ran a fireworks stand, and I got to go help.
Okay, and then also the other daughter was doing snow cones at the same time.
Yep.
And she had her big birthday cake thing.
Which it was her birthday.
Right. And that looked like crazy yummy. Did
Okay, it
those?
was
How many
crazy.
did she sell?
I'm not sure that. I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't mean to put you on the
No.
spot, but it
I know
looked like
that
they
was-
were going really
It
good.
was. I know they had a mishap with a whole bunch of the Ashland. Dropped them.
Oh.
They scurried out to find more cupcakes. But,
Oh, doggone it! I hate that.
Yeah, but it was. They worked well together. They've been working really good together and doing some fun actions in marketing in Wichita State. So they're creating really cool stickers and some marketing plans that draw some traffic, and they're having fun with it, and that's what that thing's about. Is
Right.
that, and she just sent off $2,020 to the orphanage in India. So
That's awesome.
25% of all of June
Mhm.
went to the orphanage in India.
I think that's fantastic. It's really exciting. So that snow cone stand is right in our parking lot
Yes.
at 1003 Oklahoma
Yep.
Avenue. So, all right, I'm ready. So we're going to talk
Okay.
about how to perk up your outside, because it's summertime and we all want. And it's been beautiful
It feels like
weather.
summer, but it's really been spring.
Man, it's been amazing. But my son and I were talking last night on the way into town. He was like, Mom, the rodeo was like miserable hot, and now it's absolutely gorgeous outside. And he's right. It's been crazy, crazy weather. So we're going to talk about some things to do to make the outside of your home as homey as the inside of your home. But we are going to have to take a break first, and we will be right back.
Hey, we're back, and we're going to talk about sprucing up the outside of your house, patios, yards, landscaping for summer, and to make it more enjoyable.
Okay, so my backyard, we always make fun of my yard because it has been horrible with stickers and weeds. Like when I moved in, my daughter was like, you better not spray for weeds, we won't have anything.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad, but I've been working really hard. So
Yes.
JCP, he used to be one of our good sponsors, and he had sprayed for me a few times, and I've kind of taken over because I get all excited and I don't want to wait anymore. And I've been picking stickers like a mad woman. Like my poor kids are like, oh no, they can tell whenever I've got that little gleam in my eye. We're gonna pick some stickers tonight, you guys. But it's made a huge difference. I sent you some
Yeah.
pictures, and then of course with the rain, my yard is finally green.
It's amazing.
I actually
How
have
quick it
some grass,
is.
not
Mine-
just weeds.
And I didn't think I'd have to mow mine but like twice a year. Gosh, dang. And you know what I found when I was mowing last night? Stickers.
You did?
So I think what happens, we're going to be spraying probably tomorrow. But I think what happened, first we're going to go dig them up. So I mowed them out.
Yes,
I got
absolutely.
all these things sticking up in my
Yep.
yard. It's all beside my road.
Oh, so people are driving and they're
Driving them
that
up my
makes
driveway.
sense.
And so we're going to be, I'm going to have to go spray my driveway, both sides of my driveway and both sides of the dirt road. I mean, the county road. That's where all the stickers are. So
That was a comment my daughter made. She goes, "Mom, we're going to get all these stickers out, but it doesn't matter. We're never going to get rid of them because our house is on a, I don't know why I'm centering like that, but we're on a corner lot, and all the neighborhood kids run through our yard back and forth, back
in
and
the
forth.
mail, it's right there.
And the mail's right there too. So it's never going to be perfect,
No.
but it's so much better, and that was important to me.
It was, and it comes back to when we had Jason Kovald in with JW's nursery. He was talking about some stuff, and he did some sticker remediation for me, and he said pre-emergent February spray MSMA, which is a crabgrass control, and they'll do it for you, and they'll spray in February, treat March, April, spray again in June, treat again and then spray in July. So pre-emergent in June, spray in late to mid-July, and you'll get them all. So there's 2 sets of stickers. So first batch is out. It's like a little bit later than normal though, because like I just mowed 2 weeks ago, and they're now, I just didn't see them, I guess.
Well, I feel like we started off kind of cool, then we got super duper hot, and now we've cooled off again. And I wonder if that doesn't have something to do with the way that it grows. But
So,
all that to say, so my backyard, I've got this really cool patio, and it's kind of this fun, I don't know what kind of shape that is. And I think and love it, but I would like to sometimes I think I'd like to extend it out a little bit further and kind of go around on the north side of my house, like a nice walkway. And so I feel like I can do that with pavers. But I want to talk a little bit about that. What's the right way to do pavers?
So I'm going to divert just a little bit. So when you go do your estimate on the square footage for your pavers, you might also want to double check what concrete would cost.
So maybe pavers isn't the right idea.
Maybe not 100%. So for example, we did a patio a while back on a piece of property, and it was like $1,800. Labor, material costs, dirt work, everything. Pavers for that job probably would have cost $1,200.
Oh wow, it's not that much of a difference. And the upkeep of concrete versus the pavers, because that's one of the things, so we see a lot of different things in the houses that we show. And pavers, if they're not done well, there's a whole lot of issues, and we'll come back to some of the issues if you don't do them right. But one of the things I always notice is how many times weeds or grass is growing up in between the pavers, and then they get uneven, and then they're not safe, it's a trip hazard, yada yada yada. So I think concrete is more attractive to me in that respect, but you can make your space really pretty. So if you're doing maybe a small area, maybe you would do the pavers.
Right, so I would just weigh the difference, is all I'm saying. Is like this house, pavers would have been pretty and it would have been okay, but man, concrete is the answer. So on another house we were discussing in a meeting earlier, like the pavers they put in the backyard, they put them too tall.
Right.
So water's running up on the other patio and into their storm shelter. And so, when they lay their pavers, making sure they're level, because you will divert some water. Now it won't soak into the grass.
So on Point Land Survey, you can call Mike at On Point Land Survey, and he can come and take elevation. I was gonna say a picture, but that wasn't right. He can come take elevation and tell you which way you should be
diverting your water
to make sure that you're going the right direction. And we were talking about, you can't just eyeball that, because sometimes there are other factors that play. You said you had worked on a yard and
we tried to divert it west. Everything we did was west. He came out and reshot it. I thought there was probably just no way. He came out and shot it, and as soon as we diverted the water to the east, we were over it. It fixed everything. So
okay, let's talk about furniture outside.
Okay.
I have furniture outside. I guess I started to say I don't. I have the old, I don't know what they are, just like a metal table and metal chairs. And I love them, and I've had them for a really long time, and now they're not protected at all. For most of the time I've had them, they've been semi-protected under a porch. I don't have a patio cover anymore. So, but I love them. they don't wear, but they're not extra comfortable either. So how do you, here's my question, like somebody's gonna probably make fun of me for this later, but I always see these beautiful patio sets. I'm like, one, how do y'all keep them clean? And then do you sit on those cushions because they get rained on? And like, I feel like they're gonna be dirty and wet. Do you have to take them in your garage all the time?
So I'm not sure. But
do you have fancy patio?
So my wife just has all those patio covered
Yeah.
seats. And so she just hosed them down the other day, hosed them all down.
Did everybody go sit
Laid them
down?
out there, and I went out there and I sit down. She's like, "Now sit down." What? So yeah, sure enough, she just soaked them all, washed them down, and so I think it's part of the deal. Is while she's watering her flowers, she just rinsed them all off. But it comes back to though, but it's way more comfortable. It added color to the space because we just had, it was just wood. Now it's colored wood. I'm
thinking of a property that we sold recently over on Cedardale. And when the previous seller was living there, they had their patio set up absolutely beautifully with the fun party lights and a beautiful table and some chairs and a nice rug out there. And I mean, it really did feel like an extended living area, which is desirable, especially right now because it's so gorgeous outside.
So nice.
So, but you're right. I like what you said because the pops of color make a huge difference even outside. Like we think that that's a natural thing to do inside. But outside is just as wonderful.
Yep.
So cushions and things like that. And one of the things I was reading earlier is that you can recover those cushions. So maybe your cushions are just getting kind of dingy, but they're still in good shape. Recover them.
Yep,
Just
recover
recover
them. And ours are just, I think I would call ours disposable. I'm not sure what they cost, but they're just cloth and they seem like you can just go buy them every year at Walmart for, I don't know, maybe they're expensive. I don't know. But I don't know.
I bet Carrie-Ann's like,
So-
you'll never know.
Yeah, they were yellow. Can't buy yellow ones. So the other thing I'm doing at my house, so this morning I got up early to smoke bacon for our business meeting this morning, and so
I missed that.
I'm sorry.
I missed the bacon.
There's some in the fridge, maybe. I don't know if I've eaten it all yet. But so while I was there, on the south end of my covered patio in the windy season, which is always, because this morning was really nice. But man, the wind just sails down through there. So I have designed we're gonna build a whole wall. It's gonna be a offset wood and steel to divert the whole thing. We'll probably build one on the north, but we'll make half of it a gate. So
Right.
if you can just leave it open, let the wind in, or you can shut it to block the north wind in the winter. So there's all kinds of things you can do, even if like on the outside at your house, you could just build a wall. It doesn't need to be a roof over it. You can build a wall to block that wind. Add some extra. She was talking about adding something where you could grow vines on, but then you add extra bugs to your vines.
Really not about the bugs.
Yeah, so
Not really about the bugs.
But there's other things you can do so we're taking advantage of every part of our deal by even blocking the wind. So sun is a big deal. I can't handle sitting in the sun very long. So wind is number 2. So I've got the sun covered. Now I got to block the wind. So just keep taking it on each step.
All right, so back to colors. Get creative with planters. I don't plant flowers because I know that I'm going to kill them, and that's way too much work to just know they're going to die. Can I just say, like, knock on wood, this is my second summer that my flowers have lasted past July 4th.
That's amazing.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Such a stinking miracle. So I found the right flowers, which was the most important thing. Like,
Silk?
I knew. They lasted through the winter too. No, okay, so I knew like full sunflowers versus full shade flowers versus mixed, yada yada yada. I thought I figured out last year, and I did kill one set of flowers. But I had figured out what works best to my front flower bed. And then I have my yellow front door because I talk about it all the stinking time. So I painted my flower pots yellow too. And it's all so cute, and it's nice, bright and cheery, and then my little pink flowers, and it's a nice, happy space. So I know not everybody's gonna go yellow, and that's just fine. But colorful planters make such a big difference. So that's an easy way to add color and to add some fun to your outside too. And then you can put them where you want them. So like in the back, like I haven't got started much in the back. I focus on the front because I want to give my neighborhood, I want to help improve the pride of ownership in my neighborhood. That's what I want first and foremost, for now. And now I'm starting to work on the backyard to make it a really comfortable space. I'm never home. I'm really not good about just sitting around and hanging out outside. I'm sure that would get better if I made a nice space. but it's hard to want to make the nice space because I'm like, I'm never there. But that's my next step. So in the back I have my little table, like I said, and so I've got a citronella plant. I know, so it helps to fight off the bugs, but I haven't made my planter cute yet. So there's some things like that that we can do to make our spaces lovely. All right, what about, so heat up a patio, and I think that that goes right along with a fire pit.
Yes.
Right? So my mom used to have one of those big chimeneas. So you start a fire in those and they give you some heat, right?
Yep.
And they smell good.
Yep.
Like why? I don't know. What is it?
Would you put in there maybe?
I don't know. She must have been clever with her fancy wood. I don't know what I'm saying. But it was really pretty and it smelled good and it gave off a nice heat. I want a fire pit in a big way, but I'm afraid to start a fire.
So they have gas ones. Propane, you just turn it on, turn it off.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a question.
Okay.
So I mean, I've looked at Ace, like I can see all these different price ranges. I'm like, well, can I just get this little cheapy one or do I have to get that big fancy one? What's the difference? Is it just how pretty they are or is there like a functional difference?
Like some of them are more, like one of them has this big grate you can cook on it. Like it swings out, you put your stuff on there, you swing it over the fire.
Yeah, that sounds like work. I don't need that.
That's crazy. And so some of them, and then some of them are just built heavier. Some of them are more of a disposable. I say disposable, built out of like a fiberglass or plastic, and they'll fade and chip. And so some of them are real, like built out of steel, and they're gonna last forever. You can build a fire pit pretty simply out of block, wood, and then it's a real fire pit. Now you make a real fire. I had a guy. He took a grill apart and put the propane thing in the middle of his.
So he made a gas one.
Gas one out of his food. So that could be done.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, I don't have time for that. But.
My brother and his wife made an absolutely beautiful fire pit, and so they did paver stones all the way around and built it up nice, and they graveled a nice square spot because they're out in the middle of the country, and they did an absolute beautiful job, and it's one of the most comfortable places I've ever relaxed in because it's attractive and it's functional. Put your little feet right up there, like it's absolutely lots of s'mores over at their fire pit. And
that's the problem with the gas one is you drop your s'more in the gas one. Then you have to clean the deal off.
But one of the things I think you have to pay attention to is city regulations. So can I have a wood burning fire pit in the middle of town, or do I need to go gas in town?
I think you can have a wood burning fire pit.
I was careful not to say, do I need to get gas in town?
Yes.
So I think that's important too, because there might be some regulations. Maybe Woodward's cool with that, but maybe a different community would not be. So, all right, lights.
Yes, lights. Let's take a quick break.
Oh, is it time?
It's probably we have like 7 minutes.
All right, we will be right back.
All right, we're back talking about expanding your living space to outdoors, making it bright and welcoming, and things you can do there. So one thing we are discussing at our new place is lighting up our patio. So we have a big patio. It's got sun recessed lighting. My wife loves it. She just leaves the lights on 24 hours a day. I mean, 24 hours a day.
I think that would be me. Like, I never turn off my porch light. Somebody turned it off the other day, and I was like, is it broken?
Yeah. And so it adds, like when you drive by, it does add some niceness. It's like our patio pergola out west of the office. Those are just solar lights we bought to test out how they work. Now, I did that for multiple reasons, but it's just super attractive. So people have commented about
it. It's beautiful. This pergola is amazing.
And so, but really, if you come up here at night, it really doesn't put up much light. Like you could read a book underneath it because it's
just kind of nice ambiance.
Yeah. So that's what we're working on our new house. So we've got light, and then we've got ambiance light. So we haven't figured out how to make it look like we're not just hanging Christmas lights off our
Is that a problem?
I don't know.
I'm all about Christmas lights.
So I haven't figured out how to do it yet to make it look more appealing. But we are also going to redo ours. We live in a barn-dominium barn house, and so we're going to actually take part of the metal off maybe this winter when lumber comes in just a little bit, and we're going to re-sheet it with wood to give it a wood accent. We've got some repairs to do on that anyway to keep the birds and wasps from living inside of our porch cover.
Oh, that's exciting.
So it is exciting.
So lights though, LED lights probably a no-brainer.
So they make them with solar, so you can just do, mine has a big solar pad and it runs down. They're not even plugged in out here, there's solar only. So, but I've noticed if you get the plug-in ones, they are brighter.
Okay.
So I'm not sure, and you can turn them on and off during the day. These are, when it gets dark, they come on. When it gets light, they go off. So that's which I don't know why you would need light during the day.
I guess you technically don't if you're outside in the sunshine, huh? That's
So,
funny.
The next thing is the water feature. So we've been discussing that as well at our house.
Like a swimming pool.
No.
No.
Swimming pool, maybe for the dog. Which is the other problem, is if you build a water feature, if you're not playing it, yes. So I was over at a house on 2nd Street 10 years ago, and their covered patio came down, and they put a soaker hose on top, and it ran off into a koi pond stock tank. But it sounded like it was raining.
Oh, that's neat.
Like the trickle of the rain. I thought, I definitely want to do that. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. At my new house, to make it look like you just have to do it on one piece of it. This was this was like a 10-foot patio cover. But like on my house, my porch is 80 foot long, so I don't know how to. I just pick a piece.
I feel like about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. I feel like we saw a lot of ponds, a lot of koi ponds. We don't see that as much as we did. We don't see the fountains. We don't see. What do you think? Is that a trend? Is it? And they are, honestly, they're kind of hard to sell around too, because a lot of times, if we're showing a family with younger children, there's an anxiety about water safety with their kiddos. So I think that's kind of interesting to consider too. Like, I mean, I think I'm going to be in my house for a while. I feel like I could do a koi pond. But if you think you're going to sell, I think that's something you got to kind of take into consideration. A simple
water feature would be nice. I mean, they make just the thing you put out in your yard. You put water in it, and it just circulates with the electric or a solar pump. Put bleach in it, kills it all, makes it just sound, and a little bit of water. Something like that might be okay. I'm not sure if I want to go full intense backhoe and build a huge, massive swimming hole water feature thing. I just want the trickle of the water.
It does. It sounds nice. So one of the things that I said I don't plant anything because I know I'm going to kill it and it's way too much work to just kill your plants. But one of the things that I was reading earlier said to plant a rain garden. So they were saying that a lot of times these are more native plants and trees that you would plant in your house. And the picture that I saw even showed, I keep talking with my hands like on the radio, they're going to hear that. But one of the pictures that I had seen in community that was corresponding to this topic of planting a rain garden and had it at a grade again, so then the water would come down from your house and it would water your plants naturally, and then it would flow out into your yard or whatever. And that was kind of neat. I want an herb garden.
Those are cool.
I mean, I don't know how I'm going to do that since
you should put them in your windowsill, don't you?
Well,
that's where we put ours.
I don't know. A couple of my girlfriends, like their gardens, they've got nice gardens and they've got a lot of herbs that they don't look like they're in their windowsill.
Well, I need to go.
Cilantro is not in the windowsill,
no,
I'm sure.
Some of it is, but it gets too big.
We had this precious lady in church at Laverne, and she had helped me to plant mint by my back door, and mint helps keep spiders away.
Well, I'm putting mint all over my house.
I know, right?
My wife hears that. We're going to have mint filled in our yard.
I know. I hope my daughter doesn't listen to this one. We will too. But she had told me, she said, when you sweep off that back porch, she said, you just kind of beat your mint bush with your broom, and sure enough, it would smell good. And they're a really hardy plant. I did not kill that thing. When I moved out, it was still there. It's a miracle.
My daughter's growing an avocado tree.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, she has a
Can I do that? I
roots
wonder.
are like 6 inches long now.
And it'll actually grow an avocado?
I mean,
That'd be amazing.
I think it's in Northwest Oklahoma. I think it's going to have to be an indoor plant.
So once in a while, I've also read that you can put your green onions into a cup of water and it will root, and then eventually it'll regrow, and you can just keep cutting off your green onions from that. Yeah, it just grosses me out. I don't want to see that. I know it gets all dirty and it smells funny. I'm not a gardener.
No.
I'm never going to be a gardener.
I like the mint idea. That's easy.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Again, I should probably look into that. All right, what else have you got, boss?
Well, I think it all goes back to using all the space you have at your house, make it efficient, welcoming if you want to welcome people. If not, plant trees and bushes around your house, keep them out. But we were selling houses that are welcoming, lit up, lots of color. Landscaping is a big deal. We had a house that we showed the other day on tour, real estate tour, where we had all the real estate agents come look. And that's one of the comments they said. It just said it didn't have enough landscaping. It was just very plain for the price range of the house. And so landscaping is important to our buyers right now. in that outdoor space. When indoor space is so expensive,
Yes.
merging it outside is a valuable asset to your home. So
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you got some ideas or want some ideas, give us a shout. I'm Brian Cook, 580-334-2303.
And I'm Kindra Cox, 580-216-0090.
We appreciate you guys listening, and thanks to all our sponsors for letting us spend time on the radio, talk to you about things you do to help your real estate.